flower of evil is getting better and better with every episode. All of this builds up to the climax where one question hangs over this one like a dark cloud. If Hisang didn't kill Sunkil, then who did? Before we get there, episode 3 begins in the past as Jiwon is forced to delete a video she has taken of Hisang. They are young in Hisang's workshop and he steps up to confront her over her motives. He asks exactly what she is doing and turning away. She admits the truth. I like you, she says. A silence grows between them as Hisang struggles to keep his composure. Instead, he tells her to leave. Back in the present, Hisang convinces Jiwon that everything is okay. After that, Hisang heads downstairs and feeds Mojin his last meal. As he crushes pills and looks to force them in his house, Mojin screams for mercy. Hisang brings up Mojin's story online and a subsequent video that's been uncovered too. Although Mujin pleads with him, telling he won't tell a soul, our murderer is cold and calculated. He wants collateral. Jiwon arrives at the crime scene and starts investigating. After checking the body, Jiwon notices on the CCTV footage that a man stood over the victim in a black coat. Thinking back to Hisang, she realizes that he too had a black coat on the previous night. She keeps her thoughts to herself for now as the police gather and discuss the potential return of the serial killer. Virgil takes charge of the case and they go through a list of the victim's phone contacts. As they get searching, one of those names happens to be Mujin. Realizing that the reporter is in trouble, they scramble over to his apartment. But Hisang happens to be there already, checking through the laptop for footage. However, Mujin lied and the clips he has are not actually of the murder itself. Rapping at the door sends him fleeing as he realizes Jiwon is there. Only he doesn't get far as he scrambles out to the balcony and rests on the edge. Just before he's cut, Hisang rings Jiwon and informs her that Mujin is with him. Only midway through talking, a little boy sees Hisang up at the apartment and calls him a thief. Promising to get Mujin to visit the station, the officers leave. This allows Hisang to breathe a sigh of relief as the officers leave. Back at the station, more CCTV footage of the cloaked figure spills out and Choi Ji-sub seizes his opportunity to phone the driver and try to gather information. Bringing him into the station, he is questioned over what he and the killer spoke about, but it's cryptic at best. However, he does reveal that the cloaked man had the same job as his father. Ji-won returns home where he finds Mujin okay and standing alongside Hisang. As we cut back in time and see, Mujin begrudgingly agreed to work with him. Hisang found incriminating footage on his camcorder after all. Given this would ruin his career, Mujin is blackmailed into working with him. Back in the present, Jiwon patches up Hisang and quizzes Mujin over Sunkil's murder. He is taken down to the station and admits that this is serial killer's doing. He also goes on to admit Hyunsu was working with his father. Mujin is certainly no Hisang though and he fumbles his way through the interview, arousing suspicions with Jiwon. As Mujin learns more about Sunkil's murder, he realizes one important detail. 3:30 a.m. is the time of death. Only that's also the time Hisang was with him, so he can't be the killer. Further evidence of that comes in the past as Hisang saw vision of his father tell him to kill Mujin. Instead, he rushed away which saw him get hit by a car on the road. Later that day, news confirms that someone known as Mr. Do has been arrested. Although the village foreman was definitely Hisang's doing, he confirms that he did not kill Soon-kil. But if it was not him, who was it? As we cut across to the killer, he doubles over in his black coat and starts coughing blood. With numerous pictures of a woman up on the wall and a kitchen with a fish on, there's a few clues to show who it could be, but nothing definitive. As the episode closes out, we are left with one important question. Who is the real killer?